Welcome to the post-game press conference for the NAIA Men's Basketball National Championships first round game between St. Xavier and William Penn. We have Coach Robert Ford here from St. Xavier. Coach, thanks for taking some time with us after a tough loss this afternoon or this evening. Why don't we just start with just some opening thoughts on the game and your team?
Yeah, just really proud of our group. It's been a long year, a lot of ups and downs. A lot of health issues, started the year with COVID and dealt with battle through some injuries. We're still battling through some injuries. We're proud of the toughness and resilience of our team. To get to this point, our program hasn't been in a national tournament, I think, for 7-8 years now. So for us to, make this step forward for our program, I'm just really proud and grateful, guys.
First question is going to come from Courtney Jackson, who is the Coach's Show host for Thursday nights for William Penn. She wants to ask about your zone defense. You really seem to be able to control the pace of the Statesmen in the first half and everything. Obviously that was part of your game plan. And so what was that going into it? And then how did that change a little bit in the second half?
Yeah, so we've been a primarily zone defense team for the whole year. That's kind of what we hang our hat on is, taking teams out of their comfort zone and making them play team ball against the zone, having to move the ball and find weak spots into the zone. And I thought in the first half, we did a really good job of sprinting back in transition. And it was probably because we were, scoring it a little bit more efficiently, shot 50% in the first half, so we're able to get back and set our defense a little bit better. And second half, shots weren't falling as easy, and they were able to get some transition opportunities, and I think that was pretty much the difference in the game.
We'll take it out here. Identify yourself and then who you're with. RD, you want to start?
Yeah, RD Keith with Penn Media, new chair and son. Bench points obviously was a big difference. Was that just due to guys coming off the bench for William Penn and being able to get the shots, or was it in part depth on your side of the ball?
Yeah, I think it's kind of twofold. Their style, they're used to going deep into their bench, playing 10, 11, 12 guys. They're accustomed to kind of getting up and down and playing at that tempo. And for us, we kind of adjust depending on our opponent. In this game, we came in with the game plan of trying to slow them down as much as possible and playing in the half court. And, us missing, Jaden King kind of shifts some guys into some different roles. Julian Barr, who had a great game, played almost the whole game tonight. He's typically in the 6-man role, but because Jaden's out, he has to start, and that kind of just shortens our bench rotation just a little bit. So, guys playing different roles, and them being accustomed to going deep to their bench probably played a big part of that.
You kind of have already alluded to that. How big was it having Jaden unavailable?
Yeah, whenever you're missing 20 points per game in your lineup, it makes a difference. And he's a guy who's a big shot maker. So in games like this, when the offense kind of bogs down like it did in the second half, you need a guy who can kind of create his own shot and make some tough ones. And he's been that guy for us. So not having that outlet, probably played a factor in the second half when we started to get tired a little bit, fatigued. But I'm really proud of the guys that were there. Jack had a really good game, and I'm really proud of Julian Barr and his efforts. He's played, last 4 games, stepping into that starting role. He's played really well. So really proud of him and all our guys kind of stepping up and doing it as a collective unit.
Well, you brought Cedric in late in the game with those 4 fouls. Did you change how he was playing to try to keep him in the mix as long as you could?
Yeah, so it was a tough game for him, especially in the second half foul-wise. He's playing the wing of our zone, and typically Jaden's in that position a little bit longer, a little bit more athletic, and he would compete a little bit better on the board. So he's in that spot. So he's down there battling 6'11" and 6'8" guys who are super athletic, and I think he picked up a couple fouls, trying to battle down there in the paint. So made a little adjustment when we brought him back in and put him at the top of the zone instead of the wing to try to protect them, keep him out of foul trouble. And he did a pretty good job of being able to make it there to the end of the game.
Anything over here, guys?
Coach, just talk about Scott Jackson. Yeah. Just talk about what overall, I mean, was there any, did you sense any frustration from the guys in the game in the second half there? Foul a certain amount up or?
Yeah, a little bit. There was, I would say maybe around the 16-minute mark in the second half, they went on a little bit of a run and we missed a couple of bunnies at the rim. The physicality was kind of getting to us a little bit. And, you know, felt like we got the short end of the stick on some calls late in the second half. I mean, they made more free throws than we attempted for the game. But they play a physical part of basketball. And we just didn't do a great job withstanding that in the second half.
Coach, just a final question, talk about this team this season real quick and just, it's an honor making it to a national tournament and just your experience and what that's been for your team.
Yeah, it's been great, man. All credit to those guys in the locker room, man. And, we had a little bit of turnover in our roster, brought in, I think, 5 transfers from this recruiting class, and they all bought in and bought into their roles. And, we had 4 guys selected all conference. Jack Halverson, could have been a first team all conference guy 3 years in a row. And his ability to sacrifice and let other guys shine and take shots and things like that is just a credit to him and the person that he is. All the guys in the locker room all had a sacrifice for us to make it to this point. Just really proud and grateful for them and the efforts they put in this year. Hopefully moving forward, this becomes a trend for us, making appearances in the national team.
Well, thank you, Coach, for your time and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the post-game press conference for the NAIA Men's Basketball National Championships first round in the Oskaloosa region. We have the William Penn representatives from the William Penn men's basketball team here. We'll start with Coach Henry. Coach, why don't you just give us some thoughts on the game and just general thoughts on how things went?
Very tough opponents. The best 16 seed I've ever seen. My goodness, gave us a good go. But like a lot of the games we've been in the last couple of months, we've been down at half and then turn it around and win by 10 or 8. And I'm sure these guys can test it. Stop. I'm sure that these guys can test it. Wait. But we're a second half team. And we made adjustments and we just kind of gathered ourselves. We're not a great shooting team, but we do play defense, rebound. And that again tonight got us through. They had 3 offensive rebounds. We had 19. We were 5 of 24 from 3. We missed 14 free throws and we won the game by 10. So we're out working people. And that's a good St. X team. And I know that was just a simple question that I just ran off with, and that's kind of what I do. I would like to introduce Daniel Autry, DA, to the mix. He's got a place over here. I know it's not ideal, but he's an ugly dude, but yeah, he's also late. And that's okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, we do have other questions. We're going to start with Courtney Jackson. She hosted the coaches show on Thursday night, as you well know. She wants to ask a little bit about the conference tournament and just those games help prepare you, one with the environment, being at home for all those games, and also the tough opponents, tough games.
I'll answer that, and then I'll let the players kind of touch on it. Hosting the conference tournament and the national tournament, everybody thinks that's such a great thing, but and the conference tournament, yes. The national tournament, we're now 2-1 in 3 games in 2 years, so that's a plus. But there are a lot of distractions with hosting. I mean, our kids went to class this morning, the other team didn't go to class, and our kids ate in the cafeteria today. And trying to convince them this is the national tournament and get the environment correct and the mental capacity correct that is the national tournament when you're hosting is a little more difficult than if we were in Tulsa, Oklahoma in a hotel. We know we're at national. Does that make sense to you guys? It is hard, but however, Nick and his crew, as I said last night, the coach should do a great job. And we'd rather be shooting on our rims and be in our locker room, wouldn't we? I mean, than complaining about what I'm complaining about. I wouldn't trade it, but there are different things that people need to think about when you are hosting.
Same question to the players on that.
Go ahead, guys. Anybody?
Well, according to our own rims, doesn't even look like it's really even helping us shooting. Honestly. But yeah, the thing I had to breach to, some of the guys, I've been in this situation before, but this is my first time playing at home. I had to, kind of, lay down the law and say, this isn't just a normal home game. This is the national tournament, even though it may feel a little bit different than playing, like Coach Henry said, somewhere in Oklahoma or whatnot. But this is the national tournament, and it's win or go home time right now. So what we need to do tomorrow is, come out and get ready.
I'll kind of step in there and reiterate what he's saying. And these two are sitting in this room right now, not necessarily because they took to what Eddie said, but they came to play tonight, off the bench. Autry, ugly dude down here, he plays 21 minutes, gives us 10 and 6. And then Rico gives us 14 minutes with 5, 2, and 2. And those were much needed minutes at a very crucial time. I actually had an assistant coach say, back to our starters. And I said, no, our bench guys are doing it right now. And then we eventually got back to our starting 5 because these guys held it down. They both made big shots, made big plays for us. I'm really happy for them. I never yelled at either one of them, ever. They're my favorite players, and I always get hugs and kisses. But no, all jokes aside, I'm very difficult on both of them, and I'm very happy for them to be sitting here in this moment as a national tournament winning duo to my right. I'm not going to get all sloppy on you or cry or anything like that, but I really appreciate what you guys have gone through, and this is a good moment for you.
We'll take it to media members. Who wants to start? Identify yourself and who you're with.
RD Keith, in media. You came out, went on a 12-7 run to start the second half in that first 5 minutes. And then there was the foul and the technical and all of a sudden you were up 42-40. Was there a change in the psyche at that point?
We just know in the first half, we didn't play our basketball. So we knew the second half, we had to come out and push the pace and do what we had to do. Every game is harder than that. So we knew if we came out and played when you're playing basketball, we could win this game. So.
I did think that the technical helped us, to be honest with you. And I hate saying that because I don't want, the emotions of some young man or coach. I got to take it on myself. It was the first half.
It was.
I asked for it. But their foul and technical gave us the lead. And I thought that once we got the lead, it was going to be good things for us because we were playing so many guys and they were playing only 5 or 6. And we started to get our pace after that technical, which we got the lead. They're sitting back in that zone. And once you get up 10 points against a team who's playing zone, you can take time, you don't have to rush. And that helped us. But we've been a second half team all year. I mean, I think we've been behind in what, guys, 7 or 8 of our last 8 or 9 games. We were down at Benedictine 2 weeks ago by 7 and won by 26. So at halftime, we just want to keep it close, and then we regroup and go out. Like I said before, I don't know what tomorrow brings. We're living in the now for 10 more minutes. At 29-3 is a pretty remarkable group.
Just ahead of that, was,
I can read my own writing.
CJ goes to the free throw line. Misses that second free throw, but you're able to get the rebound and then come back up and that tied it then at 40 to really kind of set up
Right.
the.
I'm gonna let these two comment on that and maybe the big Michigan over here on how much we really work on free throw box out. It's unbelievable.
We're working at a lot every day. We know we gotta go and pick up. It ain't gonna take no breaks. We just obviously gonna go back up and create.
Nobody practices the free throw box out more than us. I will take it to my grave, to the end of my career. We call it special teams, like free throw box out or an out of bounds play. It's like special teams in football. And when you play us, you better box out. And if you watch a lot of games, whether it be on TV, D1, NBA, whatever, the free throw is nobody moves, nobody cares. If you don't move your rear end when you play for William Penn, it is not happening. We're gonna try to get every free throw. Unless I say, hey, Eddie, no, don't do anything. If we're up by 10 with 10 seconds left or something. But we battle for every free throw, whether we're offensive or defense. And these guys, they probably get so frustrated with how much we work on it. Would you agree? Like when we first got here, you're like, what are we doing? And then we worked on it today at shoot around and we got one, didn't we? Yeah. So that's something we pride ourselves on. Great question.
Yeah, you hit that 3-pointer there, that was, I think, only the team's second big 3-pointer in like 14 or 15 attempts at that point. Just how good did that feel that we're not just tied again?
I can't wait for this one. And they both hit it, big threes.
We can shoot so poorly this year, let alone we 5 for 24 out of the game. Credit to the teammates, chance they beat basketball.
So what I'm gonna add off of his question, like for each of you, you each hit a big three. Like, what was the feeling? I've never done that.
Man, finally, it's about time.
For your team, finally for your team.
Once we start hitting shots, though, we don't be. Once we start hitting shots.
And then Eddie, for you kind of, I'm just looking at my notes here, you kind of, set a tone rebound, right? Maybe 2 or 3 offensive rebounds early on in the second half to kind of help keep possession alive, right, to let the basket. So they were up by 8 at one point there. You got it down to 1 during that run. That you just talk about kind of setting the tone, not just with your words, but with play inside.
Yeah, it's what we've done all year. For right now, rebounding and defense, obviously, because like to reiterate, 5 for 24 from 3 is not anywhere what we want it to be. So it's always, we already know what we have to do, and there's like certain plays and certain positions where I put myself in where I know a 3 is going to go up, and I want these guys to keep shooting. I don't ever want them to lose confidence in their shot, because you never know when we're going to get a hot shooting night and it's going to look real good. My efforts aren't going unanswered and stuff like that. So, but just putting myself in the right position at the right time to, grab an offensive rebound is super crucial to what we do as a program.
It seemed like it obviously got them in a lot of foul. That seemed like that added frustration there. I know the coach just mentioned that, started to get to them more. They're a little frustrated.
You're only playing 6 guys, 7 total. The other 2 guys played 1 minute, 4 minutes. So they played 7 guys, and we played 13 and just kind of wore them down. And yeah, I think they got frustrated because I think early on, when they had a lead in the first half, they started to believe they were gonna win. At halftime, they were hooping and hollering. And we really didn't get all that upset. I mean, did you feel like that, guys? I mean, we were like, we're okay, yeah.
We know you're second.
And, once we got the lead, we just never gave it back. Excuse me.
What's the next 21 hours look like?
No sleep for the coaches, recovery for us.
We get ready for the Rio de Grande right now.
I'm gonna have to get checked for pneumonia. But I believe our practice / shoot around is 11:10 to 12:10. And once we get done with that, we're gonna take the guys somewhere for lunch. We're not gonna eat the calf. We're gonna go get some lunch. And then the game is at 7. And I'm not sure the timetable between lunch and the game at 7 yet. The coaches are working on it in the office right now, on like what time we can be back. We might have a film session. Because we're limited, we can only have that hour. At nationals, you're only allowed that hour on the floor. Even at the host school, there are limitations, like we can't just go out on the pad. I mean, if one guy wanted to maybe go shoot free throws, fine, but you can't have like, anything. I don't know if that's legal. But there are limitations to what you can do. So I think we'll have a film session in the late afternoon, and then probably get them a snack before the game. And then win or lose, we'll have a post-game meal provided for them. And if we win, apparently there's a new rule that we cut nets. We
You're
have
cutting
not
nets at every
discussed it as a group. We haven't discussed it as a team, but let's we have to win.
Question from Courtney Jackson. You don't see a zone defense very frequently in men's college basketball. Were you prepared for that coming in, and what changes did you make at halftime to adapt?
We worked on it.
We worked on it every day.
And that's one of the reasons at halftime we were kind of frustrated. We didn't panic, but we were frustrated because we worked on it so much. And you walked through our practice at one point. We had 7 guys on the court. We practiced against a 5-on-7 zone defense. And we looked a heck of a lot better against it than we did in the first half of the day. But yes, we worked on it, and we really didn't. Would you guys agree? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but we really didn't adapt that much, other than just said, let's get our junk together. Yeah.
We started moving the ball more down the paint there.
I thought Chance helped us a lot too, in getting lane touches and kickouts. Eddie is a little more aggressive in posting up to create dribble drives. DA, like I said, the ugly one down here, he moved better to get himself open on kickouts rather than just stand and rely on the ball to come to him. You got, as a shooter, you got to get open sometimes, and that's just the adjustment we made. I think the biggest adjustment to her question, what's really about the zone? It was let's wear them out. We wore them out. And our bench players, like these two, came in and killed it. So, I mean, that's all we can answer with that.
Another thing that you haven't touched on as far as just us hosting is that we're looking at tickets, and 98% of the crowd was Winning Penn fans tonight. You look across the country at so many opening round sites, and there might be 100 fans total in these big empty arenas. So what does it feel like to have this, William Penn, Oskaloosa fan support? There was a lot of people that haven't been to a game this year that came out tonight. What was that like? And maybe players.
I think that, I felt like the community as a whole came out a lot more to support us, and I think that you guys all did a great job at promoting this entire event for these past 2 days. But just having that, like adrenaline rush every single time that you step in the gym, when you hear the crowd just cheering for you and getting all just as excited as you are. I think it gives you an extra spark of energy, to not let them down either, as well as your own teammates. So
same what Eddie said, we never let the fans down, especially when they come and support us.
I know sometimes they do a little frustrating first half. We gonna do better. I promise.
More fans the better, man. They bring the energy for it, they sharing. They bring it, they make it. Space.
I think by this point in this season, our fans not only support us and love us, but they know. The second 20 minutes is gonna be better than the first 20 minutes. And they can predict it. They're sitting there doing the same thing like what we do. It'll get better, it'll get better. They're saying the same thing. I mean, they're saying the same thing the players and the coaches are saying.
Shout out to the Penn zone.
Penn zone was awesome tonight, and just the community in whole. And you know, it was a good atmosphere and it's loud. Wasn't quite sold out though, was it?
It's
But
pretty
it was
close.
pretty dang
It
close.
was, there was,
It was fun. It was fun. For a national tournament game, that was cool. And I think it was fun for say Xavier, and Marion and Rio Grande too. The atmosphere for the entire day was pretty cool. Having the jumbotron outside, I took the whole team out during practice and made them look at it. Because some of their cars are packed, you know, in the back of the pack, and I wanted them to feel the atmosphere, and that's pretty cool. I charged the bratwurst on your credit, by the way.
appreciate that. Any final questions? Yeah.
I don't know whether as players, have you had a chance to kind of drive around town and see all the signs and?
Yeah, we do have the support for sure. All year we felt the support, even when we were down and stuff. And they've been there to us, thinking thing with us, and we really appreciate that. Too.
Stay undefeated at home and big on them.
Yeah, I can't tell you the amount of the countless businesses I've walked into in the past week and have seen our signs everywhere about the promotion, the advertising of this event. I think that just added more fuel to the fire, you know, and really start promoting William Penn and what we're about. And it's not just about the basketball community, but the university and the community as a whole as well. So we just greatly appreciate everybody's support.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna need them tomorrow. So,
Big team.
yeah, it doesn't matter what your seed is when you get to the national tournament, especially at the NAIA level. Like, again, tonight we're playing 1 versus 16. It is a battle. So, you know, tomorrow's gonna be the same, and hopefully we can pull it out. Like I said, whenever this season ends, whether it's a national title or whenever, this has been a lot of fun, and I really appreciate everybody's support. You guys as well, the media covering us. It was cool to see our picture in the Ottumwa Courier. Appreciate that. Thank you to everybody.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, guys.